Wolf, it's been a long, long day. Our second group, our last match, it's almost over, and this one should be good.
Your second group today?
Yes.
My sixth group this week.
That's right. That's very true. My fourth group this week. And I don't have any Pro League to cast in the next few days either.
Nor will you have to cast every day of Code next week, but
that's true.
I enjoy every moment of it, Artosis.
As you should.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe not every single moment. Every time you see like a build like past ours, and you're like, well, you know,
yeah,
there are things that my time could be spent doing, which I would enjoy slightly more.
I like to tell people about what's wrong. They need to know.
It's important.
Well,
all right.
Merry-Go-Round is map 1. We haven't seen this map actually in a few sets now. Been a lot of overgrowth. Seems to be most commonly picked map actually.
Yeah, so far it is for sure. We've seen almost none of Waypoint.
That was definitely the least picked, I would say.
Yeah, very little of that. Merry-Go-Round, happy to see it. You see some matchups on it that we haven't seen as much of.
I just can't shake the feeling that Reality is your secret brother now that you told me that he looks like the Korean version of your brother.
The younger Korean pro gamer version of my older brother. Totally. I see it.
Ruin, I'm sure they're like talking trash in the chat about him. Like that's like the face of like, yeah, I was gonna win that game. It's kind of awkward.
Like I better win this, or I am just.
Well, he already did beat Reality once.
You know what? I want him to beat him again and make the S again.
Actually, that would be so perfect.
Where he's like, see?
Well, speaking of, no, never mind.
It's time to. I was going to say tasteless. It's time, Wolf.
It's time.
It's time, Wolfless.
All right, here we go. The final match of the night, a rematch between Ruin, the previous victor, and Reality. Only one of these two players will advance to the GSL Code S.
In the top right, our Protoss player, will he write another S?
Ruin.
Especially likes his ceremonies.
You know what I would love to see from Reality? Wait, hold on, we'll introduce him first.
Something.
This guy that I want to say what I would like to see from him.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He is.
Reality.
There we go.
All right.
I want, actually, what I would really like is for him to win and for him to write a B with depots and an arrow pointing towards the base of Ruin. How sick would something like that be?
Yeah.
God, if only I was the greatest StarCraft player in the world, all the amazing BM things I would do.
Even only a B, I would like it. I wonder how much...
Or if Ruin loses and paints a B for himself.
I wonder actually, like, if Reality really watches the matches close in between, because it's like a totally different matchup. And no matter what, he's not going to be playing... Well, I guess he would have watched the Hiva match, but I doubt he puts that much weight on the Ruin match versus Sulky, because...
Yeah, probably not, but...
Because actually, I mean, whichever one wins, for example, he's never going to play against again, and the other one is...
Yeah, I could see both ways. I think it's kind of a personal thing if you want to watch the matchup that doesn't really have a lot to do with your play. I think in a perfect world where humans are always focused all the way and stuff, it's always good to watch even other matchups to just learn about like the ways they move their units, and like sometimes you get a little piece of information even out of a different matchup, but it's obviously much smarter if he wants to like rest his brain a little bit or maybe meditate on the upcoming match to not watch it. That would be fine as well.
Someone who comes to like most Code S matches in the studio when I'm free, like when I watch the players in between in a Code S group, all the time they will actually just relax and surf the internet. But most of them do sit and talk with their coach the entire time, while kind of both of them are talking about like something completely related to their upcoming match, but they're like looking at the screen, so they're kind of dully watching. It's like it's on in the background. So they know who they have to play against, or you know, they're just thinking about things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It really does. It's important to really have the ideas already set in your head for the types of things you want to do in your match before you start. You don't want to be thinking like, as the first map starts, you don't want to be going over what strategy you're going to choose. You know?
Yeah.
So anyways, a Reaper opener here. No CC first this time from Reality.
And the Nexus coming up here at a pretty normal timing.
Yeah, everything looks pretty normal. Love to see what kind of tech Ruin wants to go for. Oh, we have actually a factory follow-up here for Reality.
What do you think about this? I don't actually like the gas first version of these types of builds, but I think that...
You mean like Reaper into Widowmine drop or whatever?
Yeah.
I
really
find them
those.
easier to deal with personally. But that's maybe because I like to play pretty safe styles.
I think this build that we're seeing now is a little bit better. I don't know what variation he's going to go for. The Stargate here, though, could put a damper on it, depending on how he chooses to play it.
Well, you know, Widowmine can catch something like an Oracle, but the Oracle as well can catch something like the Widowmine with his detection.
Yeah.
So you just got to be on top of that. I doubt that Ruin's just going to fly into a Widowmine or something, but this gets scouted, so that's a very nice Reaper scout, a very important one indeed. And ooh, whoa, that was a good block.
It was indeed.
Wowzers, he gets the scout but doesn't get the probe, so as good as you can hope for, I guess, from Ruin.
Well, Stargate finishes here. Now, I'm pretty certain this will be an Oracle, but the question is, does he follow up with Phoenixes, or does he just kind of leave the Stargate
It's
alone?
a good question. I would say that you have to go for some Phoenixes follow-up here. You've been scouted a little bit. I guess that doesn't play into why I think that as much, but if you look at like the shape of the base,
yeah.
Can you imagine, like, especially when you're taking a third, how hard it's going to be to defend against drops? I think you need like 3 Phoenixes.
Yeah, the little dead space below.
Oh, he's making a Void Ray. That works as well.
Yeah, the dead space below the main is going to be a good place to catch drops if he tries to go out towards a third, or if you can chase him out in that direction. The Void Ray is cool because it's cheaper, and you could pretty much kill a drop for sure if you use the Prismatic Alignment. This is kind of funny.
Wow.
The Widowmine and its nemesis, the Oracle, spot each other.
Passing flying units in the night. Okay, so he's already getting some kills here. By the way, with that Void Ray being made and gates being added, could we possibly see Deer's strategy again?
I don't think so. Did he make a second Void?
I'm not sure yet.
This is not going to kill it.
He should just walk 1 probe over there. It's not worth all that mining time for 1 probe's life.
He actually sends the Oracle back, doesn't lose anything.
Okay, that works out even better.
He's making a second Void Ray, I think.
Is he?
I think so. I could have sworn I saw a second
I
one.
wish they'd show the production tab. This is the new way that we build suspense, I guess.
Actually, no, I've talked to Heaven about this quite a bit, and I
Yeah.
asked him sometimes,
It's for building suspense, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him sometimes, you don't show, is that for suspense? He said, yeah.
That was something in StarCraft 1 because there was no production tab that you could be like, and just bam, you jump over and there's like carriers suddenly or battle cruisers.
That's actually the Korean way of observing.
The thing is, as like ex-StarCraft 1 pros, we knew what was building it every time anyways because the game was basically mapped out all the way.
Usually in... Well, hold that thought. Actually, he's going to commit with only 1 Void Ray, and there's not even close to enough units over here. With the detection on the Oracle, I think Reality is going to die here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Those 2 barracks are not the answer here. One gets canceled, the other one's not even canceled in time. He has a lot of units out here, but with no stim and with good control, good kiting, and all the warp ends here, I don't think so. And by I don't think so, I mean I don't think he's going to hold.
Yeah. It looks very, very hard to actually end up pulling this
Outlook is bleak, man.
The lack of stim is pretty crazy. And then he even brings in the Oracle for the extra damage. Absolute. Has so much damage done, basically.
He lost the Void Ray with no micro there, but I still think he's going to be able to kill him.
Well, those Zealots being warped in, he's killed so many SCVs at this point. It's just craziness. 28 SCVs left over.
Yeah, he's just going to target down the Marauders now. Nice micro here by Reality.
This is actually quite an interesting build that we saw with the single Void Ray to help bust and just the additional gates, because when you look at what a Widowmine drop does, you know, it's so tech heavy, especially after a Reaper opening. You know they're not going to have a lot of units.
Is he just going to walk back and not finish him off? Okay, no, he's coming up here. I was actually going to be surprised.
Well,
there's too much to
tank.
tank.
Yeah.
And Stalkers do so much bonus damage to armor that when you stim, you just don't have enough hit points to hold it.
Yeah.
He's going to need another round of Zealots, I would say, but I think he still just wins here.
Well, I think that this was very close to a winning move. I think he is going to hold for now. And
well, he walks back, so that he definitely will.
Yeah, he killed a good amount of SCVs. I'd like to see the exact number, but with only 35 SCVs left against 47 probes, like, okay, he killed 21 SCVs. That's pretty crazy. And while he lost quite a few units, it was mostly Zealots. So it's not even like he overlost gas here.
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty cool attack, and I'm actually very interested in that attack. And I believe that he did it specifically because it was a Widow Mine drop he was playing against with Stargate tech. Really kind of neat, because obviously if you don't go for a Widow Mine drop, you're going to have way more units, and an attack like that isn't going to do anything.
It's true. He had the forward pylon set up, and I think it was just a situational thing. If he doesn't see the Widow Mine drop coming, he doesn't use the pylon, sees it, maybe, and he punishes for it.
I do wonder about that, actually.
Is that going to be
something that we see pop up more in the future? When these two builds meet.
On a map like this, where you can get away with hiding a pylon like that, can be good. He actually faked those SCVs out for a second. There was a pull.
It's kind of a wide ramp as well, going up into the natural.
Yeah, I think it's a bit map dependent what we saw here.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of factors in. Kind of cool.
This little Widow Mine drop is just like the first one, not destined for big things.
Yeah. Failure.
It's more mostly like a substitute teacher, to be honest.
Yeah, it's everything my mom thought I would be. A dead Widow Mine.
Well, that's really dark, Artosis.
Yeah.
Widowed
Mine.
Well, the thing is, Widow Mines are never alive, so...
Well, he's going to fly into this cannon. Realizes there is not much to do there. The end of the map as well meets him.
Oh, God. Force fields over here.
Well, force fields weren't quite as good as they could have been, but that was still very nice for Ruin.
Yeah.
SCV count has caught up for reality, so
he's
that's
actually
nice.
ahead in Harvesters. And...
yeah.
That's pretty shocking, considering there's not even a third CC. And he was pretty down.
I wasn't expecting that, yeah.
This army, though, for the Protoss is solid. With those Immortals in there.
Well, when you look at how big the army is and the fact that he's made Immortals, this is just like a follow-up attack that he's made. He stopped at 48 probes. It's pretty normal for like a 2-base timing like this.
I'm worried about Ruin. He's getting charged now, but taking that third base is going to be quite difficult.
Well, I think if he takes it right now, he's going to be all right. He has the blink. He has the... well, the charge is going to help him out a lot here, obviously.
He has a Mothership Core,
Not the greatest upgrades, but with the Immortals in there, I think he holds on. I think he holds the third base. The one thing that could be scary, although it's a bit out of position, is if he can attack towards the bottom of the third nexus, then fly up into the main, but... I feel like that's like getting his army way too out of position where if there's enough charge lots and everything, he can kind of shut it down and really punish reality. There isn't a good escape route in that direction.
Oh, this is really cool. This little drop right here. He's just going to let it go for now. He will eventually with reinforcement push us back. His army on the map is so much stronger. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, that little satellite in the background of where Reality's base is, is like the same little one that's in the background of the menu of StarCraft 1. I just noticed that.
I didn't know.
Like, it's like right up there off screen right now. I won't be able to see it for now, but
to see. I'll
check it out later. I'll point it out for you. But this third base, I don't know if he's holding it. He's 30 army supply up right now with 22 Marauders. That's a lot of Marauders.
Indeed it is. 25 Marauders, 32 Marines, 6 Medivacs, and a Viking.
Viking not the key unit here, but...
No, certainly not.
It is actually in this case, I suppose.
Well, it's going to chase this off, but War Prisms don't die to Vikings anymore. Oh, wow. That was really nice. Slowing down that third base dramatically with that Zealot.
That's a very huge...
Reality, he has this army lead, but his third base being this late...
What is he doing all the way down there on the map? What do you think? You think he was trying to a sneaky attack path to go around the side or something?
I think he was thinking about it. Because, again, if he attacks from down there, brings the army down south, and then does a big drop into the main base, that's like a move that can win the game. But, again, that's like, it's so out of position that maybe he rethought it there.
No.
Not sure why he changed his mind exactly, or if that was even exactly what he wanted to do. Looks like he's going for a drop anyways. It's just
Oh, look at that drop. Actually, it's like right around that special pylon there in the middle.
Looks like he can't even drop anything else out there.
Yeah, but like the Zealots, the Zealots can't attack it now. Yeah, this fight here is pretty important. He's going to snipe some Templar.
Yeah, that was a very nice sniping. Getting rid of that pylon. Only one pylon powering 4 gateways.
Yeah.
Definitely a mistake here from Ruin.
Yeah, that was not a good situation. Now he's going to remake that pylon, but it's not going to be in the center anymore. And actually, he can kill that pylon again. This Bioforce is just way too big. 50 armies fly up.
He needs like 2 storms, and he just doesn't have them. He lost 1 High Templar that had energy. Doesn't have any more right now. Like, does he have enough for a storm?
No, I don't think so.
It looks like he's just short of a storm.
Yeah, just barely not. Like,
yeah.
Oh, God. That really hurts. Well, there's a lot of Immortals on the other hand. Like, against Pure Marauder, he does survive.
Yeah. Those Immortals really helping out so much.
They wreck it, man.
He took a lot of losses during there, though. That's for sure.
Well, that pylon is remade back in the main. Even has a buddy pylon.
Tasteless pylon, we call that.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. The pylon that backs up the other pylon is the tasteless pylon.
Okay. Well, yeah, the pylon's actually in good taste, though. Actually. All
right. So this 5 Immortal army, this is like this is a weird game for me. It's very weird. Some of the strats we've seen pulled out by Ruin, and the fact that he's actually made so many Immortals that it's actually held on against this very Marauder-heavy style, which has gotten a lot more popular because of the buff to the Widow Mine.
This isn't the first time he's actually done this either.
Yeah.
He already did this earlier today where he's just making
in the game where he's behind.
Yeah.
When he's behind, he makes a bunch of Immortals or something, maybe to catch his opponent off guard and strongly counter the heavy Marauder forces that are getting more popular in the matchup.
Well,
it's really interesting.
If you feed a Zealot 1 unit at a time, it's going to kill a ton of units, as you guys just saw there. So that was a nice little trade for him. And Ruin is really starting to close the gap in supply. Well, actually, he's taken a huge lead in supply, that is to say, more realistically here. Now, this dropping in the main base, Reality has too many units for Ruin to deal with again. And dare I say it, we'll probably get this Temple Archive.
That's painful. That is a lot of gas down the drain. But actually, he has quite a bit banked up, so...
more than the gas, it's just he can't make them. It's even a time thing, right? Like,
it's true. Only 5 on the map, no Archons.
Yeah, so if he wants to make Archons, he's going to have to really think hard about that. Or at least dump his energy first.
You could probably skip that for now. I think that was probably a cannon he just started there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that would be a good choice. There's that satellite I was talking about, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah. It looks quite a bit like it, but I don't think it's the same one.
Are you sure?
Well, that satellite from StarCraft 1 is burnt into my brain, and it has a radar dish that goes back and forth on it. That's actually the thing in single player of Heart of the Swarm in the battlecruiser level, where you are going into the mercenary base or whatever. Good try, though.
Maybe it's modeled after it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I guess, yeah.
Oh.
It's nice to have some StarCraft 1 stuff in StarCraft 2.
Feedback goes off, but it's not leaving enough. These drops have really annoyed Ruin. I mean, he's having some hard time.
Drops on this map are pretty hard to play against, for sure. But
that's why that Void Ray we were talking about in that dead space down there would have been so nice now.
In fact, making one would be pretty nice. Pretty good idea, I think. Kills medevacs rather quickly.
Well, no 4th base for Reality, and I don't blame him for that. There's so many run-bys going around the map. It's going to be tough for him to actually hold one. Here we go. Storm here is good.
Good Storm here.
Second one is decent. I don't know if I'd call it decent, but it accomplishes its job. It pushes the Terran Army back.
We have Ghosts out now, Wolf, and there's going to be 7 Immortals pretty soon, and then High Templars as well. If he hits good EMPs, this could really go his way. He's also focusing less on Marauders. So... that means more Marines, which means the Psi Storms become a little bit more important. I really think this is just going to come down to how good EMPs are.
I think so, too.
EMP versus Storm right now.
Snipes as well.
Yeah.
But EMP, of course, the better thing to use if you can, because you hit not only the Templar, but oftentimes some of the Protoss units with them.
With 8 Immortals out, you've got to get rid of their shields. They are just going to destroy. That is so many Immortals. You never see this many Immortals.
I really like this, though. Like, just even as an experiment. Like, you know, how good are these?
Yeah,
I
I want to see how this is going to turn out. I never see battles like this actually take place, really.
That High Templar on the high ground is like so cool too. He even scans for it. He wants to see if he can snipe it. All right, this is going to be the moment. Needs Storms over here to tank it. Oh, great EMP there.
Yeah, it does miss some of the High Templars though. And ooh, he gets some snipes off. So the Storm's kind of okay. Some more coming from the top. He's got to keep them spread out. He can't keep grouping them all together. It's really important to spread your High Templars.
Yeah. He scanned that earlier, man, and he's going to go get it. That's actually worth it, I'd say. Second Robo going up. And, okay, I was going to say, do you think he'll switch to Colossi? Because I think it's appropriate at this point. Now that he's forced all these ghosts, which counter not only his High Templar, but those Immortals, I think it's time to switch.
That is a fact. And we are actually going to have to see Reality go into Vikings pretty heavily because he doesn't have anything good against that. And between the Immortals killing off Marauders, which are supposed to help out against the Colossi, and the Colossi themselves, and oh my god, 19 High Templars on the map. He just made so many High Templars. Oh my god, he spent all his gas.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Funny how quickly 19 High Templars can change turn the game into your favor.
They are everywhere. That Immortal. Ouch. That Storm's not so good. Erases the Archon there. This base is toast, I'd say. It's not too important considering there's not that much gas left here.
Mostly just gas, but he just spent all his gas, so the gas is still a little bit important at least.
He's actually going to save it, it looks like. This is not a good trade here for Reality.
No, that one doesn't work out.
It's starting to dwindle in supply a bit, and remember, he doesn't have a fourth base at all either here.
Yeah. Well, if he can kill off Ruins, then maybe he'll be fine. But I don't know that he's going to.
His +3 will finish in just a second, but that's only going to put him even because it's +3 armor and +1 attack for Ruins, so they have like some parity with their upgrades. But I think that's the right word for this. But ooh, oh,
okay, very nice. All right, so he is going to be able to get this Nexus. It looks like. Ooh, nice feedback there.
Does he have any Storms? I guess not.
Well, he's got some.
He's going to get caught here, maybe.
Well, this bottom part of the army is kind of squishy, so he might be able to just turn around and kill it.
Fight through it, maybe?
Maybe. The Side Storm's looking pretty good, though. He might just be trapped too much.
And the thing is, even though he's killed his base, it's not going to be worth it if he doesn't have any army to defend the counterattack that comes down towards him. 9 Immortals on the map.
God, that's a lot of Immortals.
We may see a shift in the meta slightly after this game, man.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I wonder, right? I mean, stylistically, Reality has made a lot more Immortals than, or rather, a lot more Marauders than some Terrans would in this matchup. He's very Marauder heavy, and this could just be Ruin's way to respond to that. Okay, so I mean, my brain is really going through the possibilities of making mass Immortals. I mean, we saw, like, in the mid-game, he had, oftentimes, even in the first best of 3, more Marauders than Marines. And that's a super heavy Marauder composition. That's the kind of thing you do nowadays, because they complement the Widowmines very well. And they also just tank a lot of damage. The thing is, Marauders are also better against High Templars. You use them to snipe High Templars and all that. And the thing is, normally you use Colossi to try to keep units back from sniping your High Templars, and it's like a little dance. But these actually kill Marauders way quicker, and you can't really snipe with Marines, because if you run up with the Marines, the Side Storm just hits them and they all shred. Whereas you Side Storm the Marauders when they run up and they don't shred. That poor Colossus. Oh, that's hilarious that he's stuck in there. Oh. If those were Immortals, that would have died. He even shot it with the Nexus once. Turns out the Nexus can't help kill it. Alright. Well, I think this is going to be the end. This is the final stand of Reality, that's for sure. GG. Really interesting style. I'm liking it. I'm going to give it a try. Well, the only thing missing from this game was a big S in pylons. Well, he has to wait for the second game he's going to win. Reality's not looking happy. This will now be the second time he loses a series to Ruin if he doesn't turn this around. Reality's like, well, I'm really good, except I just can't beat Ruin, so I'm not good S. Ouch. It's a tough matchup for him, you know? He looks very frustrated. He actually looks, like, angry, like, visibly, like, fuming. Yeah. Took out that Immortal. I understand the Zerg teammates. What's the answer here? More EMPs, less commitment to drops that start to lose their efficiency? I'm not sure what the answer is for the composition that Ruin's building. Maybe the answer is to stop him from getting there. Because there was a moment where he had... Battle cruisers do really well against Immortals. True that, Artosis, but You know, I feel like part of the reason why we saw this game